Hi there. My name is Sarah Groth, and I'm one of the therapists here at Sage Therapy Chicago. Today, we're going to be talking about something most of us never get taught formally growing up, which is how to react to someone coming out to you. Almost all of us have queer people in our lives, whether we know it or not. Chances are high that at some point in time, someone will come out to you, and many of us have already been on the other end of that conversation. Some of us might feel nervous or awkward in those moments, not really sure what the correct words are or what may or may not be offensive. On the other end of the spectrum, sometimes we also say things to our loved ones that might seem like they would be kind or helpful, but end up coming out the wrong way. Wherever you may be, I'm going to walk you through some general do's and don'ts to consider when someone comes out to you. So let's start out with some of the things we shouldn't do when someone comes out. One of the first and most important things to always consider when someone comes out is privacy. Someone coming out does not give you permission to share this info with whoever you want, wherever you want. Don't assume that because this person came out to you, that gives you the right to their information and identity. So, the right to share this with anyone. You should never out someone. Outing someone, if you're not familiar with this term, means to share their gender and sexuality without their permission. Even if someone might seem comfortable with their identity or they may have told others that you know, this doesn't mean that they are out to everyone in their life. This still applies to in situations that the person may not seem to be in danger if the news is spread. Even if you're telling people who seem like allies or even members of the community, you're taking away your friend's power in that situation, their power over their own privacy. Second, don't turn their coming out into an interview. It's natural for new info to spark more questions in your mind, but be mindful that some questions can come off as rude, offensive, or just unnecessary. A good litmus test before asking a question is whether you're asking this question for you or for your friend. What I mean by this is if you're asking a question that answers a curiosity you have, it might be best to wait on that question, give it some more time to think over it. If you're asking a question for your friend's benefit, meaning a question that will work to help you in being an ally for your friend, then this is more appropriate to ask. Examples of good questions might include: who knows about this? What pronouns should I use and where? How can I best support you? A less important don't to consider is this: don't say things along the lines of, I always knew, or anything that implies that this isn't new information. This may seem counterintuitive to some of you at first, so let me explain further. By implying that you've already known, this can diminish the meaning and the importance of that person coming out to you in that moment. This may also lead to increased worry or fear in that person that their sexuality or gender isn't something that they may be able to keep in the closet in certain situations. Along with all this, I would also offer something up to challenge those who claim to have always known. What about that person made you think that? Since none of us are born with big red stickers on our head that say queer or trans, it's likely that some of the signs you're picking up on might be rooted in stereotypes or heterosexist views of how people should be, look, and act. So now that we've covered some of our bases of what not to do, let's focus on some important things that you should do when someone comes out. During that conversation, be sure to show interest and curiosity about this person's identity. Remain engaged with them to show that this info is important to you. Give them as much space as they need to talk before you start jumping in with questions or reactions or perspectives. And be sure to show your appreciation for this person and acknowledge that this information is important to you and that it means a lot that they trusted you with it. It's perfectly normal and in some cases encouraged to thank a person for coming out to you. It's a privilege to get to know those around us as they truly are. As I mentioned before as well, check in on how confidential this information is. Do other friends know about this information? Do other members of the family know about their identity? Are you comfortable with me using your pronouns or name at work? Checking in with this sort of question helps to inform you of how to act and talk around this person moving forward. This can help prevent you from accidentally outing them or putting them in uncomfortable or even dangerous situations. Next, ask them what they need from you and how to best support them. Some of that may overlap with previous points about confidentiality, but there may also be areas where a friend needs other kinds of support, whether that be in direct acts of allyship, such as accompanying them to spaces that may feel scary, unfamiliar, or uncomfortable, or if they just need a little more emotional support than before. At the end of the day, it's important to know that no matter what happens, this person is still the same person you knew before. A partner of the same gender, multiple partners, no partners, different pronouns or names. No matter what might appear to be different on the outside, this is still the same person that you've developed your connection with, and the same person that trusted you enough to come out in the first place. If you're struggling with what to say, it may also be important to hone your skills as an ally in general. Some great places to go to start learning more include the trevorproject.org, the safezoneproject.com, and pflag.org.